Hey you, yeah you, right there, watching on your phone.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
I see you, but the question is, do you see me? Or better yet, do you see a difference between the two sides of my face? And if you don't, that should tell you, do you really need primer? Because one side of my face has primer and one side of my face doesn't. Can you guess which one it is? Leave a comment down below telling me which side you think has the primer and which side you don't. Let's see if you're right. Hey you guys, welcome back to Looks by Naheemah, and I am Naheemah. And as you guys can see, I am testing out, do we really need face primer in our makeup routine? Today I'm going to be using the Smashbox Photo Finish Blur Plus Set Primer, which is one of the US's top rated primers. Everyone recommends this primer, so using one of the best primers, can we see if primer really makes that big of a difference, enough to spend, some would even say $50–$60 on a face primer? Let's hop right into it. I have in my hands the Smashbox Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. So this primer has been recommended to me from almost every reliable source I can think of. I went into Sephora and I went into Ulta and asked the representatives to show me what their best foundation was, especially for oily skin, and they both ended up recommending me the same primer, which is the Smashbox Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. And I even took it a step further and asked you guys what your favorite primer was, and even though I got a mixed jumble of responses, overwhelmingly the majority of people said a Smashbox primer, and of those primers it was definitely the Smooth and Blur Primer. So if you guys want to be a part of those Instagram story polls in the future, be sure you go head over to my Instagram and follow me and check out my Insta stories, because I basically post some fire Insta stories every other day on there, so you don't want to miss out on that. So down below there'll be a link for you to follow. But now let's just hop right into it. In a previous video I wanted to know what primer really does for our skin and for our makeup longevity. Does it really work? Is it really worth it? Because this right here is like a $36 primer, and the beauty industry has convinced us that we need primer as a part of our makeup routine, and I'm challenging that. I'm like, do we really need this? Because honestly, if we don't really need primer and it really doesn't make that big of a difference, we could save ourselves a lot of money and time. Time is so invaluable. Any time that we can save in our makeup routine is great. So I'm gonna bite the bullet. I bought this primer and I'm gonna test it out for you guys to see, do we really need primer in our makeup routines? Let's go. So basically how I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna kind of split my face in half, and this side, my right but your guys' left, is going to be the side that I do use primer on, and the left side, your guys' right, will be the side without primer. So basically we're gonna really see if the side with primer performs better than the side without primer, or if they're kind of the same or somewhere in between. And regardless, by the end of this we will find out what primer really does for us. So be sure you stay into the end of the video to find out the final results throughout all the check-ins and to see if we really do need primer in the end. So let's hop right into it. So I'm going to open this primer. This is, by the way, a travel size version of this primer. I didn't want to do the full thing and bite the bullet completely. So this is what my completed face is looking like, and so far I really don't notice a big difference between the two sides of my face as far as the primer goes. Both sides look really nice and smooth. They look nice and mattified, but I think that's really thanks to the other products that I use on my face. Just in case you're curious, I'll leave a complete list of what is on my face right now down below in the description box, as well as some other really good information for you guys to know. So that'll be down below. But right now I really don't notice any big differences. Yeah, so right now it is 4 p.m. Yes, I am filming this video kind of late in the day, so we're gonna go all the way until 12 o'clock, but we're gonna be doing a check-in halfway in between. So in 4 hours I will come back with my first check-in. Hey you guys, so we are back after 4 hours. So this will be my 4-hour check-in. It's a little bit before 8 o'clock, so about 4 hours give or take, but I don't think in the next couple of minutes anything is really going to change. So let me take off my glasses so you guys can really see what we're dealing with. So just as a refresher, this is the side of my face with the face primer, and this is the side of face that is bare, no face primer. And after 4 hours, honestly, I don't think there has been really any difference in my face. Like, literally, both sides of my face seem to be performing, in general, like, pretty much the same. I would say, if anything, I feel like the side without primer is looking, like, a little bit smoother than the side with primer, which is a little surprising. So I'm really starting to get curious about this face primer situation, but I would definitely say I a little bit prefer the side without primer right now. But I think after 8 hours we're really gonna see if the primer is gonna kick in and make some longevity. But I would say so far I'm just not seeing any difference between the two sides. And again, let me remind you, this is like a $36 primer. To not show any difference, like, come on. So I guess we're really gonna see how this really holds up after 8 hours with our 8-hour check-in. And with that, I'll do all my final thoughts and wrap up on this face primer. Hey y'all, it is now 12 o'clock and I am so tired. Like, I am so ready to go to sleep. So this is our final check-in, and after 8 hours, as you guys can clearly see, your girl is oily. Like, I am low-key shocked at how oily I look, like, not only on the side without the primer, but the side with the primer. If, like, the side with the primer almost looks like it's even more oily and broken down than the side with the primer. Like, this is such proof that clearly primer does nothing. Like, if at very least I would have expected at least my face would still look like, you know, pore free, smoother on this side. But if anything, I feel like my pores are even more emphasized on the side with this primer. So you guys, clearly we have figured out you do not need primer in your routine. This is a high-end, highly recommended primer, and I honestly do not see a difference between the side with and without primer. If anything, I feel like I look worse with the primer on. Like, I would have been better off without a primer and some flawless skincare. So you guys, I think we just figured it out. Primer is unnecessary. So I hope you guys found this video useful and that you guys will think about, after you're done with the primers you currently have, because we do not waste not buying primer anymore, or maybe even just testing this out yourself. I would love to know your results. And if you guys think I'm wrong and you think that primer is unnecessary, and you guys think that primer is necessary, I would love to know what primers you're using right now. Please leave that down in the comment section down below. While you're down there, please leave a like, because your girl showing her face like this is dedication to y'all. So please leave a like, and also while you're down there, please hit the subscribe button, because I'm bringing you guys fire content on the internet, and I would love to do some more videos like this for you guys. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys next time. Bye.